Is what I call the BRICS 11. That is the original 4 plus South Africa plus the 6 new members, including UAE, of course. Gold, and with particular emphasis on the role of the UAE. I have about 20 minutes to do this. I have 2 hours of material, so I better get started. So I want to start with history. Go back a little bit about the history of the BRICS. This is the picture of the leaders of the BRICS summit that was held in Johannesburg, South Africa, last August. You have Lula, Xi Jinping, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, Prime Minister Modi, and on the right, that's not Vladimir Putin, that's Sergei Lavrov, who, of course, is the Russian foreign minister. Putin couldn't attend. He wanted to, but there's an arrest warrant out for him from the International Criminal Court, and Ramaphosa said, don't worry, we won't arrest you, but there could be NGOs and others who might, so he decided to make life easier for all concerned. But he participated by video. So I still don't have a 5-shot of the 5 leaders, but that's the best we can do. A little bit about the history of the BRICS. Before I jump into that, I want to start with not really an equation. I mean, it's expressed as an equation. It's really a bit of logic. If Plato was the father of philosophy, Aristotle was the father of logic. And this is this is called the transitive law. And very basically, we probably all learned this in the 6th grade or something. If it's true that A equals B equals C, then A equals C. Again, a syllogism, but a good piece of logic. I want to suggest that this is the key to the future of the international monetary system. I'll come back to this logic at the end and explain why, but if we can just bear this in mind, it's actually a very important expression of what's going on with the BRICS. Notice what the BRICS are doing. They've copied the World Bank, and they've copied the IMF. They're duplicating the Bretton Woods structure on their own. A lot of this goes almost unnoticed, but these are very important initiatives. They're also building a fiber optic undersea telecommunications channel so they can bypass channels like SWIFT and other payments channels controlled by the West. So they're building their whole network financially, structurally, and in terms of physical infrastructure. And this has been going on for a long time. It's not as if the BRICS are making some headlines lately, but it's not as if they just woke up last year and said, oh, let's do something significant in the monetary system. They've been working on this for over 15 years. The big news, and of course this involves UAE and Dubai, is they added 6 members at the summit in South Africa in August. I think the formal accession process will take place January 1st, but 6 new countries. They're Argentina, Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Ethiopia. So I'm now calling it the BRICS 11. They haven't called themselves that. I mean, we have the G20 and the G7, et cetera. So the BRICS 11 seems like a good working title, particularly because they have a waiting list of 18 nations wanting to join. And I've listed them all here. I don't have to go through the whole list, but kind of highlight Bahrain, Mexico, Nigeria, a huge country, 90 million people, et cetera. Turkey, again, another very important economy. Venezuela, a big oil producer. So the waiting list could take the membership up to 25 to 30, not all at once, but in a period of years in the relatively near future. Not the waiting list, but just the BRICS 11, including UAE. It has 6 of the 10 largest oil producers in the world: Russia, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, China, Iran, and UAE. It has 4 of the 7 largest countries in terms of landmass, 30% of the Earth's dry surface, 50% of world grain production, 15% of the world's gold reserves. And I think it's important to realize that BRICS 11 is possibly the new OPEC. We all know that Russia was never a member of OPEC. Saudi Arabia and Russia obviously cooperated on oil pricing, but Russia was never a member. But here we have a new group, the BRICS 11, that includes Russia, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran, and Brazil, all of which are major oil producers. So it may be that over time, BRICS becomes the meeting place, if you will, for oil pricing rather than OPEC. We'll see. And of course, China, India, Brazil, Russia, and Saudi Arabia have a combined GDP of $29 trillion. That's 28% of global GDP. If you use something called purchasing power parity, it's a different way to measure output. Instead of using nominal, you say, well, how much is the money actually worth in your country in terms of what it can buy? That group I just mentioned would have 54% of global GDP. And China and Russia have two of the three largest nuclear arsenals in the world, and Russia is the single largest.